1:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Niranjan Abesundara. Banti fertilizer will be provided to farmers free of charge for the next 2 seasons. It has been revealed that food consumption in the country had been increased up to 12.8 million metric tons last year. Justice Minister says that required new rules and regulations have already been prepared to confiscate the money that have been earned by crimes. A National Audit Office has been pointed out that the government has incurred a loss of more than 65 million rupees due to the purchasing of low-quality cancer drugs at higher prices. In world news, the Israeli Prime Minister says intense fighting in Rafah nears end. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said that Banti fertilizer will be provided to farmers free of charge for the next 2 seasons. The nursery stocks of fertilizer will be distributed among the farmers within the next few months. Currently, there is no fertilizer shortage in the country. In 2022, import of rice had been carried out on a large scale. However, import of rice has been declined due to the concession given to the farmers by the government. Therefore, the import of rice has been declined remarkably this year. The Department of Agriculture said that food consumption in the country has increased up to 12.8 million metric tons last year. Annual requirement of fruits in the country is at 19.6 million metric tons. The department also stated that production of mango, pineapple and pepper has shown a considerable increase. 38,021 metric tons of fruits had been exported last year. Minister Dr. Vijayadas Rajapaksa said that required new rules and regulations have already been prepared to confiscate the money that has been earned through crimes. He made the remark due to at the media briefing held in Colombo. Industry entrepreneurs should increase. He also stated that there is no proper economic framework to safeguard the entrepreneurs in the country yet. This has been caused by the economic collapse faced by the country during the past period. Therefore, all should be responsible to challenges faced by the country severely. A joint program should be implemented with the participation of all sections to develop the country. The National Audit Office has pointed out the government has incurred a loss of more than 65 million rupees due to the purchasing of low-quality cancer drugs at higher prices of 24% during the tenure of the Former Health Minister Kelly Rambakwella. However, the drugs named Ribavex had been given to cancer patients were storage needed for the next 10 months. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Colombo District Court has ordered for a case against former President Maitravata Sirisena to be heard ex parte. This order was issued when the case related to the injunction issued preventing the former president from functioning as the chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party was taken up this morning. However, this decision was reached as former President Maitravata Sirisena did not appear for the court proceedings. MP Sadasiva Virendran was sworn in as State Minister of Trade and Environment for President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat a short while ago, the President's Media Division said. With that, we end the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
MP Gamini Velabada says that a special delegation will depart for Russia today to arrange for the repatriation of Sri Lankan ex-military personnel fighting in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war and for greater discussions. The parliamentarian further said that a delegation comprising of 6 members, including the Defense Secretary and officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, are scheduled to leave for Russia. Official meeting between Sri Lankan delegation and the representative of the Russian government will be held in Moscow on Wednesday. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to watchlight, animals or animal products will not be allowed to be imported into Sri Lanka from any country where bird flu has been reported, the Animal Production and Health Department today announced. Department Director General Dr. Hemali Kodalawala said that these measures have been taken to prevent the entry of avian influenza virus to Sri Lanka, which has recently been reported in several countries. She also said the control measures were taken to protect the country. She added that no animal products or animals are allowed to be imported to Sri Lanka from any country where bird flu is currently reported. That came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
The Israeli Prime Minister said that intense fighting in Rafah nears end. 1 million under flood warning as heavy rains hit U.S. Midwest. Israel war on Gaza live. Israeli tanks at edge at Masabi safe zone. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said intense phase of fighting in Rafah in southern Gaza is nearly over, but this does not mean that the war is coming to an end. He said the war would continue until Hamas was completely driven from the power. He added that Israeli military could soon be able to deploy troops to the border with Lebanon, where exchanges of fire with Hezbollah have been escalated. Netanyahu also again rejected the idea that West Bank-based Palestinian Authority should run Gaza in place of Hamas. More than 1 million people are under flood warnings in the upper U.S. Midwest on Sunday after days of heavy rain that forced evacuation and rescues in several states. The hardest hit have been Iowa and South Dakota, where some rivers reached record high levels. At least one person died in the flood in South Dakota, said its Governor Kristi Noem. Our Governor Kim Reynolds called the floods catastrophic and has declared a state of disaster in 21 counties. Drone footage posted by regional officials show homes and buildings almost completely submerged, with only rooftops visible. Gaza residents say Israeli tanks have advanced to the edge of the tent camp at Al-Mawasi safe zone near the southern city of Rafah, days after an Israeli strike killed 25 people. 2 more babies have died from malnutrition at Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza, bringing the death toll from hunger and thirst to 31, health officials say. A joint investigation by Al Jazeera and Forensic Architecture had found that an Israeli tank fired at 6-year-old Palestinian girl Hind Rajab Kamari, likely from 13 to the 23 meters. Back to the headlines of the world news. Israeli Prime Minister say that intense fighting in Rafah nears end. 1 million under flood warning as heavy rain hit U.S. Midwest. Israel warned Gaza live. Israeli tanks at edge of Al-Mawasi safe zone. That was world news.
Development News.
A program to develop infrastructure facilities and roads that have been damaged due to floods in the Gold District will be implemented. This project will be initiated to minimize the harm due to climate change. That was Development News.
Moving on with Sports News.
The first T20 match between the visiting West Indies women team and Sri Lanka team is being held in Hambantota today. Sri Lanka women won the toss and invited the West Indies women to bat first. Accordingly, the West Indies team scored 134 runs for wickets at the end of their 20 overs. Sri Lanka women had scored 96 runs for 3 wickets at the end of the 13th over. South Africa have made their way through to the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup 2024. The Proteas knocked out the co-host West Indies after winning by 3 wickets at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in North-South Antigua. In the rain-curtailed match, Aidan Markram's men held their nerves and chased down to a wide target of 123 for 5 balls to spare in a thriller that went right down to the last over. It's also the third time South Africa qualified for the semis of the tournament after 2009 and 2014. That was Sports News.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyamata set wenna aswahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
To rejuvenate collapsed industries and businesses, the government has started 4 new loan schemes to provide a total of 20,000 million rupees as credit facilities to micro, small, medium-scale industries and businesses. Industries and Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Patharan stated these credit facilities will be provided under very low interest rates and simple conditions. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyamata set wenna aswahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news, the Silk Institute that has SL certificates has produced a bag of Jack mackerel canned fish for the first time. This product will be issued to the market. The first bag was handed over to the Minister Douglas Devananda. That was economic news.
Weather report.
Showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Noora Elia, Galle and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers about 20 millimeters are likely at some places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Kandy and Noora Elia districts. So the spells of showers will occur in the Mathura district. Strong winds of up to 40 kilometers are can be expected sometimes in the western slopes of Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and Trincomalee, Hambantota and Munragara districts. And back to the headlines of this news broadcast. Bandy fertilizer will be provided to farmers free of charge for the next 2 seasons. It will reveal that food consumption in the country has increased up to 12.8 million metric tons last year. Justice ministers say that required new rules and regulations have already been prepared to confiscate the money that have been earned through crimes. The National Audit Office has pointed out that government has incurred a loss of more than 65 million rupees due to the purchasing of low-quality cancer drugs at higher prices. And in world news, Israeli Prime Minister say that intense fighting in Rafah nears end. With that, here in the afternoon news broadcast at Radio Sri Lanka and a message for you.
Here's important news from the State Pharmaceuticals Corporation. All Rajya Susal outlets of the SLBC gives a 5% discount for medicines on prescription for senior citizens above 55 years, children under 5 years and pregnant mothers. SLBC provides high quality, safe, efficacious medicinal drugs at affordable prices. The State Pharmaceuticals Corporation of Sri Lanka. Your health is our concern.
And as always at this time, for your listeners out in Radio Land, yes, we present Music with Lunch.